Okay, so today we are going to be doing an instruction on how to create a piece of op art. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start with about, I'd say 10, oh, my pencil doesn't work, 10 to 15 dots. So I'm putting them like that. You know what? On this one, I think I'm just going to go straight ahead and I'm going to use my felt tip marker, felt tip pen we were supposed to get at the beginning of the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we'll do one right here, 15. Okay, so the next step, once you have your 15 dots, you're going to connect the dots with curved lines. So they're kind of going to look like flowers at first. So So at this point, what I'm going to do, so this is step 1 is done. Step 1 is adding the dots. Step 2 is connecting the dots with the curved lines. Remember, some of them have to go off the page. Which ones go off to the page is kind of up to you. So I have some going off the page. Now I'm on to step 3, which is to keep adding curved lines from dot to dot, making larger curves, and adding curves until the entire page is full. Now, the trick is, if I use straight lines at all, I'm going to end up with a very flat piece of art. So the trick is really going to be that I don't want to use any straight lines. So for example, let's say I'm going to connect these dots right here. I'm going to focus on this connection. What is going to happen is I'm going to keep connecting these dots. I did that wrong. You want it to go with the original dot you made, so I just messed up that. So don't do what I just did. This is kind of how you want it to look. You want it to go like this. So that area is going to be permanently messed up now. So, for example, maybe I want this dot. It'll go dot to dot. For example, let's focus on these 2 dots right here. I'm going to keep building those up. Okay, the next step I am going to take is I am going to grab another pen. Okay. And I am going to make these areas where the dots are really nice and dark. So how I'm doing that is I'm not making straight lines. I'm following the lines that they're popping out from. So if you look, like for example, this part curves here, so it's curving with the lines that I've already made. If you don't get this part right, it'll look weird. So, and notice too, what I'm not doing is I'm not doing one of these. I'm not doing this. You don't want it to look like spider legs. I'm doing this. It's a flick. There's a big difference. So I'm going to do that to all of them really quick. Nice and sharp color pencil. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with my black. And I'm going to feather that out from the pen and ink, because right now they still look kind of like spiders and I don't want them to look like that. I want it to look really, really soft and natural. So it's pretty cool because even though they're totally different medias, I can combine them together to get a really, really neat effect. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with my black, and everywhere I've put down that pen and ink, I am going to try to hide it now with my colored pencils. So this, what I'm doing right now, this step might seem like, you don't really need to do all this work. This is how you create value. This is what's going to make it look real. If you skip this step, the whole project is not going to work out like you're going to want it to. So this is going to be what makes it look like it has depth and makes it look really 3D. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this part up here. Okay, now that that step is done, I am ready to start on the next part of the project, which is the fun part in my opinion, but also the most time consuming. So what the trick is each and every one of these strips are going to be one color. So you'll kind of see as I go here. And they're going to get lighter as they come and meet toward the center. Okay, so I've kind of almost kept that white there. Now, you might have to go back in with that black and blend that in even better. So then I'm going to do dark blue next. Now, here's the thing. On one side, these are going to be symmetrical. So on this side, whatever I do over here, the same color needs to come right here. So build that up, darken to the bottom, lighten in the center, the same place they did on the last one, so that they, see, lighten up there, lighter, lighter, lighter. So then here, go lighter, lighter. Color nice and dark in that crease. Lighten up toward the center, matching the other ones. Now here's the other thing I'm doing. You'll notice my pencil lines are arching with the curve of that line. If I was shading up and down instead of like this, it's going to look flat and not very good. So remember, since I put dark green there, I have to do dark green over here as well. Now, notice the difference between what I'm doing here and if, let's say this is my section to be coloring. Notice the difference between this versus if I color it like this. Okay, that does not look at the difference there. A, I'm coloring too hard all the way across. I'm not shading. B, I'm coloring really sloppily. And C, it just looks completely flat because my lines were going all over the place instead of rounding nice and neat with the curve. So this is a big no. Don't do that. Do what I'm doing here.